The Art Loeb Trail is one of the most beautiful and challenging hikes in the Blue Ridge Mountains. A rugged route that crosses high ridgelines and some of the most spectacular terrain in Pisgah National Forest. The trail winds through the mountains of western North Carolina. Stretching for roughly 30 miles, it runs from Davidson River Campground in the south to Cold Mountain Trailhead in the north. Along the way, the trail climbs more than 8,000 feet in total, passing through dense forest before reaching the exposed ridgelines and mountain balds that make the Art Loeb Trail so memorable. This fall, my sister came to visit, and we set out to hike the Art Loeb Trail from end to end, a trip that would bring changing mountain weather, incredible views, and a few unexpected surprises along the way. It's Monday, September 15th, and we're beginning our hike of the Art Loeb Trail at the Davidson River Trailhead. We start with perfect weather and easy miles along the Davidson River. A gentle beginning before the long climbs ahead. Before we leave the river behind, we stop to fill our water bottles. There won't be many good water sources as we climb higher into the mountains. About 2 liters of water at a time works well for me on the Art Loeb Trail. After crossing the footbridge, the easy walking comes to an end and the trail begins its first real climb. The first day covers about 8 miles, with roughly 2,600 feet of climbing. A couple miles in, we cross Joel Branch Road. By the time we reach Horse Cove Road, about 4.5 miles in, we're definitely starting to feel the elevation gain. Overall, the trail is in great shape, but there's still some evidence of storm damage from Hurricane Helene last year. We reached the top of Chestnut Knob, the highest point of our first day on the trail.
So yeah.
Rain was not in the forecast.
Not for today anyway.
And here we are under our umbrellas, hunkering down, waiting for this storm to pass.
Probably about a mile from camp.
Yeah, we've got about 1 mile to go before we get to camp, but that could be a mile that soaks us if we keep going in this. But I've said it before, mountain weather, you gotta love it. We are, I think, about 6.5 miles in so far. We started at Davidson River Campground. Everything's been pretty smooth going. We're both definitely feeling
the weight of the packs.
Yeah, hopefully by day 2, we will have limbered up and we'll be ready for Pilot Mountain.
Around 6:15 in the evening, we find a campsite just past Cedar Rock.
Here we are. Yep.
And call it a day. The rain continues through much of the night, leaving everything damp by morning. After drying out what we can, we pack up and get back on the trail.
You ready?
Today we continue north toward the higher elevations of the Art Loeb Trail.
Whoa, slippery this morning because we got a lot of rain last night. But thankfully it cleared up by this morning, so pretty clear skies, a little hazy. It should be clear most of the day according to the forecast, but like yesterday, we have no idea. It could change in an instant. We left camp around 10 o'clock this morning,
after trying to dry our tents out a little bit. Anyway, they're still damp, so we're hoping to get to camp early enough this afternoon that we can dry them out the rest of the way. But today, we have two big challenges. We have Chestnut Mountain, which, you know, is a pretty challenging climb. It's not nearly as challenging as Pilot Mountain, but Pilot Mountain has beautiful views on top, so we're looking forward to seeing that. So we anticipate going another 7.5 miles today, and that will be the majority of the climbs that we have. From our campsite near Cedar Rock, the trail climbs over Chestnut Mountain before continuing up toward Pilot Mountain. This section covers about 6 miles and climbs roughly 2,700 feet. We pass Butter Gap, a common stop for water along this section of the trail. Just before noon, we reached the top of Chestnut Mountain. I guess this is the top. I thought back there was the top, but this might be the top. Made it over Chestnut Mountain, now we're heading for Pilot Mountain. It's sprinkling on us a little bit. Again, not in the forecast, but it's not too bad. We're not getting too wet, so we're still moving. Hoping to get over Pilot Mountain and then up to either Sassafras Knob or Farlow Gap to stay tonight. A little before 1 p.m., we arrived at Gloucester Gap. From here, the trail begins the long climb up Pilot Mountain. Over the next 1.5 miles, the trail climbs nearly 1,800 feet to the summit. The forest opens occasionally with a few views along the way. About an hour and 40 minutes later, we finally reach the summit of Pilot Mountain. And we have a view. Oh man, I had my doubts. After taking in the views from the summit, we continue down toward Deep Gap. By mid-afternoon, we reach Deep Gap just as the rain returns. We take a short break at the shelter before continuing on. Around 4:15, we arrive at a campsite on Sassafras Knob. And settle in for the evening. Day 3 begins with clear skies and cooler air. We pack up camp and get back on the trail. All right, one last check. Looks good. This rock right here is pretty cool. We pass the large boulder that marks Farlow Gap, just beyond the halfway point of the trail. From here, the trail begins climbing toward the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's a steady climb, but we're feeling good. Just ahead, the Blue Ridge Parkway marks the transition into the high country. At the top, we join the Mountains to Sea Trail. From here, we can see Pilot Mountain and the ridges we crossed the day before. We follow the road for a short distance to a reliable water source near Ivester Gap.
Let's do it.
All right, there'll be more sun up there. We're gonna be going up along there.
Oh,
From here, we take the Art Loeb Spur Trail back toward Black Balsam Knob. We reach the summit. At 6,214 feet, Black Balsam Knob is the highest point on the Art Loeb Trail. We enter Shining Rock Wilderness. And pass through Farlow Gap. We find a campsite near Shining Rock Mountain. But before calling it a day, we head up to the overlook, and it turns into one of the most incredible sunsets we've ever seen. Day 4 begins with another calm morning as we pack up camp and start the final stretch of the trail.
Okay.
We climb over a series of rock steps on the way up to Stairs Mountain.
at a summit right now.
Yep, you're at the summit. Kind of. Yeah, Stairs Mountain.
Okay. Yay.
It's our last day and we are on our hike out. Got an early start this morning around 8:30. Got a little bit of water and we have between 7 and 8 miles to go today. But like yesterday, we have another beautiful sunny day. A couple milestones. Stairs Mountain, which we just passed. So we got that behind us. Small little climb. And then we're gonna go through the Narrows, which gets a little technical. There's some ups and downs and some rocks that you have to scramble, but there's some fantastic views there. Yeah, we're actually, we're feeling pretty good about the hike. First couple days were a little wet, but yesterday and today, perfect weather. So we got the good weather during the time when we were going from Black Balsam over to Tennant Mountain, Farlow Gap, all of those areas where you have just beautiful vistas and views to see. So it worked out great for that. So very successful trip. We're really happy that we were able to get out here and that my sister was able to come down and visit and for us to do this adventure together. But yeah, we're looking forward to a nice hot shower and comfortable bed tonight. We make our way along the Narrows. It's good, it's giving you the true Narrows experience. One of those views you don't see coming. And something else we didn't expect was meeting this guy. Oh, that's true. I got two. We can get down the deep gap and maybe give him a couple fatty sticks. And some water, yeah. It was clear he needed some water and food.
Good.
He stayed with us all the way until we reached the trailhead, where he was reunited with his owner. All right, deep gap. Well, that's a pretty creek.
Nice place for some water.
By the end of the trip, we've covered about 30 miles and climbed more than 8,000 feet. Woohoo! The end. There it is. Would you call it a trail foot? If you hike it this way?
Trail toe.
Trail toe.
I think
yeah.
trail toe is what you have.
Trail toenail is what I got. All right. You see our car anywhere?
Going all the way down again.
Ah.
I remember this feeling.
Happy.
It didn't hurt as much this time.